haven't even started playing the song and I already have it stuck in my head. It's a freaking joke. What? I'm not gonna focus on it. It's gonna be distracting for me. Here. We're a little off. We're a little off today. It doesn't matter. All right. Welcome to Morning Medley number 259. We're so close to 260, guys. We're so close. I think there is significance of the number 260, but I've forgotten what it is. Since the past couple of streams have been more, how do I say, focused on composition, I am going to start the medley at the top of this stream, since it has been a little while since I've done that. I'm doing a raffle in my head of what the first song is. Nobody wins. So I'm having like a crisis while playing this song for some reason. Go to Rhodes piano. Maybe the familiar sound will help me. Is it possible to play it in like 3/4 or something? Something weird? Interesting, Umbe. Well, I'm glad that you knew what to ask for. I'm glad you knew what you wanted, and then you got it in the end. My hair's doing a wild one today. Good morning, Diz. Good morning, Diz. Um, bum, 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 bum. Hello, Zaina. That song is called Winter Heart. I'll see you when you get back, Umbe. Hey, what's up, Stinky? How you doing? Zaina, I enjoy Genshin. I play it for like a few minutes maybe every other day. Good morning, Chibi Lucy. Solely before our eyes. What is Genshin? It's a game. It is. It's like a beat 'em up, a hack and slash, or a Yakuza series. It's like an open world exploration RPG. But the battle system's like an action RPG. It's a lot like, I mean, it's fairly compared to Breath of the Wild a lot. Very similar gameplay to Breath of the Wild, just a very different story and overall feel. Good morning, Crow. Welcome. What was I doing? Okay, so I did start the medley. I do fully intend on finishing the medley, but I've now kind of stumbled into the territory of this song, which I started last week. And it really is nothing other than this refrain. That's it, and it just kind of loops that over and over. But what I did for this time when I was playing in the medley like a few minutes ago, is I played the chords slightly out of order. And so the first two are the same, but then I go down to this one. I'm not trying not to zhuzh it up too much, but everything needs a little bit of zhuzh, right? Hold on. That's not right. Ew. Really? Is that what you're about? You can't be about that. Oh. And then Judge. Hey, what's up, Jesse? Jesse. Judge. Hey, what's up, Jesse? Good morning to you. Um, what's it on? Everything? It's on PlayStation, cell phone, and computer. Computer. And then. I can do the same. I can do the same melody over like a different over a different chord progression. What I've been messing with, like what I talked about yesterday, the whole like idea of returning home, um, musically. Sometimes you can never leave home all day, and you can watch your home change throughout the day from lighting. Your home is going to change throughout the day. There's going to be different smells, different sounds, different lighting, but the building stays the same. And if the building is simply this melody, if that is my home, I can use the chords as like weather. So the chords can be like a. Or the weather can be maybe a little bit more jazzy. It can be the right chords but jazzy. I'm not gonna do that actually per se, but I do like the idea of rearranging the chords while keeping that same melody. Um, but I do want to have. I don't want all my songs to sound the same, but right now what I'm trying to do is hammer in a technique of those subtle key. I don't want to call them key changes because somebody was in the stream once and I called it a key change, and this person knew quite a bit about music theory, and they said that's not actually a key change, that is a blank blank. And they said a thing that, since it really bared no reference to me, I didn't remember what they said, but they argued that it wasn't a key change. This they're like, that's not a key change. So whatever that is, I'm trying to get a little bit more adept with turning songs into that. I also did it in, remember the 1 through 4 choices we had yesterday? I did it in those, where the song goes. Does it there, and I'm trying to add it into this song to some degree. But sometimes adding in a key change gives a song, to me, depending on which direction you're changing the harmony in. It can give the song a more exciting feel. Like if you're ramping it up like. this more like uplifting, maybe courageous, triumphant feel. Shifting a song downwards in key or tune or harmony actually isn't something that I do too often. I only do it in very, very small spurts. So, example, for in Winter Heart, I do it. Oh, actually, I don't. I kind of do, but in a way more complicated way. Like this, like, is the same as, which is a little bit lower. But I do it so quickly that it doesn't really feel like the entire song is shifting to a lower key. So, back to the song that I'm working on now. I'm trying to find a way to like subtly shift the key of the song. These two notes, these two notes, these two notes, these two notes, which means these two notes are my wiggle wombers. So I can go and I can keep the same melody while changing the key that it's on. So instead of hitting this key, I can go. See how the notes still work under that chord? I mean, it doesn't sound right in there, but the chord still works. No. No. What? If I'm trying to take them to an even more melancholy place, right? I want a good waffle, but no ingredients, says Jesse. Jesse, I'm still really mad about that waffle yesterday. Speaking of yesterday and being mad about things, I thought that I was going crazy because for those of you that do know, or for those of you that don't know, my car had some trouble. Wow, was it trouble? Those three troubles in a row. Jesus, my car had some trouble yesterday, and I was trying to fix it. I'm not a car genius, but I feel like I know. What chords are these? That's beautiful. No, no, no. What chord is that? Hold on, guys. Sorry. It still sounds wrong. fix my car. This says, I used to have one of those. Talking about Volkswagen Jetta. Looks like you had to replace a really small part in this Volkswagen Jetta. Yeah, I was working on my car. And so, the part that I had to replace, yes, was very small. And it was underneath an engine cover. Which, in order to get underneath the engine cover, you have to disconnect a lot of things, which is not that big of a deal, you know. I can like do that, but then there's one thing that you have to disconnect that uses like a hex screw, and so I went up to, and the problem is before I got into that point, I had already taken all this stuff off of my car, so I get to that point, I'm like, okay, I can't fix this now. I need to go to AutoZone, but I need to put the engine stuff back together before I can drive to AutoZone. So I put the stuff back together. I drive to AutoZone. I say, hey, do you guys have this part? And they say, we can't see it. Can you take all the stuff off? So I take all the stuff off, and I get to the part, and they're like, oh yeah, we should have that part. And they go inside and they look for that part, and they say, oh, we actually don't have the part that can take that off. But the one all the way on Figueroa has that part. And I say, cool. And then I put my stuff back together again for now the second time, and I go to Figueroa and take it all off again. After I check and make sure that they have the part, they do have the part, and so that's good. And then I'm taking the hose off the one piece that I do need to replace, and I'm sure you guys know what hose clamps are. They're clamps for hoses because hoses need to be clamped to things to be airtight. So yeah. Could you take a pic of it so you don't have to keep doing that? The thing is bolts come in different sizes. So if I took a picture of it, it would really do them no good. They would have the shape maybe, but they still need to try different size tools to figure out exactly what the centimeter, size of it is. So no, taking a picture wouldn't exactly have saved me a lot of time. But anyways, I did get it off eventually. Then I went to go take out the hose clamps. The hose clamps that were put on there are one-time hose clamps, basically hose clamps that can't be reused. Like, there's a specific type of hose clamp that you like screw it and it gets tighter, and you can screw it and it gets looser. But Jesus Christ. And then there's a type of hose clamp that literally you can't remove without cutting it. And so I have to cut this thing. I finally get the piece off to replace it, and then I realize that they sold me the wrong piece, so I have to exchange it for another piece, which was actually nice because the wrong piece cost $44 and the right piece cost $26. So I saved some money, kind of. And so I get the right piece, and the right piece has this little rubber stopper on it, like this little rubber stopper that like keeps it from wiggling around. Like you clamp it on this thing and it keeps it from wiggling around. It's like think of it like a belt for your pants. Yes, the plastic ones, Jesse. So the rubber thing, I finally get it on. I finally get everything on, but the rubber thing is like a little bit off. So I'm trying to like jimmy it loose so I can get it on right. Think of it like a jug of milk, how you can like screw the top on wrong and it'll be kind of crooked. And I was like, you know what? I've already been working on this car for several hours. Might as well do the job right. So I'm like taking it off so I can put it on right. And with the amount of force I had to apply, it like popped off and fell down through one of the crevices of the engine. And at this point, it's like late at night, so I have no light. Luckily, they let me use a flashlight, but I still just couldn't see it. There's too many things in the way. And the piece is like a size of a dime, it's really small. And so I finally just said, you know what, screw it. I've been working on it this long. I bound it as best I could. It's not like flailing in the wind. It's probably not that necessary of a piece, but you want to have things done right. I still might drive to AutoZone maybe today, get an exchange for that part, and then get a new part that has the rubber stopper on it and just do it right this time. But, anyways, so for those of you that don't know, foreign cars are a nightmare sometimes. In my opinion, they're built better. I don't really like American-made cars. They're built better, but in America, typically, it's a little bit harder to get somebody that wants to work on them, and it's also harder to get to certain things on them, and it's just foreign. So just, apply any stereotypes you already have for foreign things and being finicky in a foreign setting, being America. Anyways, working on it's rough, so sometimes when I'm working on a Jetta, to make sure that I'm not breaking things, and to make sure I'm doing everything right, I will check like German sites, or I'll just check like Volkswagen specialists like online, and they have YouTube videos. But as some of you guys know, yesterday YouTube was just not working. It just like I was like, this is the worst time for you. Well, I guess it wasn't during a stream, so that's nice. But I was like, this is the second worst time for YouTube to not be working for me. I'm like underneath my car. It's pitch black outside, and I just need to know which one of these things I'm supposed to unplug to make sure I'm not gonna break my engine. And YouTube just wouldn't load, and I was like, is something wrong with my phone? I took out my laptop, it wouldn't work on my laptop, and I was just like, but then I kept checking, is YouTube down, that site, and they're like, oh, it's up, it should be working. Anyways, it was clearly down, and so that also added a little bit of extra time. It was just any day that you have to work on the car. There are a few things: shooting a music video, working on a car, being a part of a wedding, helping someone move, any photo shoot, meeting with people to go to dinner. There's just certain things that in planning them, they always seem like it shouldn't take too long. We have everything like 15 minutes for prep, 30 minutes for this. We have everything planned. Everything is planned, and somehow it always ends up taking like 1.5 to 2 times as long as you've planned for it to take. And yeah, it was really supposed to, like, the piece is like, no joke, about this big. It's about that big. It's about the size of like a Hot Wheels car. And I thought maybe I would be working on it for like an hour, right? Roughly 20 minutes to like open up and take apart the thing, then maybe 15 to put the thing on, and then another 20 to put it back together. Then I drive away happy. It just, what was the part? It was it was like a vapor purge sensor thing. It was a vapor purge sensor doohickey. It was definitely not the thermostat. It was a little thing that regulates like the air going into the gas tank, but for the fuel. But it was really funny because I went to 2 different AutoZones, and I call it a vapor purge sensor, and the people at the first AutoZone called it an evaporation canister purge, and then the people at the second AutoZone called it something completely different, but it was the same thing. It was the same piece. So I was like, oh, whatever. I don't know what it is anymore, but I know I replaced it. Anyways, good morning, Leona. Yeah. Yeah, it was it was a day. It was definitely a day, and YouTube being down made it a little bit worse. But I'm here now. And I hope the car's fixed. I didn't even really get a chance. You know how like when you fix something on your car, it takes it like a full drive cycle for the check engine light to go away. I just hope that I hope it's good. I hope it's good. Yeah, that's what the third people called it. That's what the third AutoZone called it, Jesse. They called it a solenoid. And I was like, word up, whatever. As long as it looks like this thing. I was really happy I had the thing in my hand, because the first AutoZone did sell me the wrong thing. Okay, yeah, that was yesterday. Yesterday's over though now. Guys, it's the day before the production stream. Goodbye, Chibi Lucy. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I just don't know where to go from there. Once I got into that part of the song, I have no idea where to go. I can go back to the beginning. actually perfect. I should just go back to the beginning. I think I'm overthinking this. I have text-to-speech or recite Cyber's bars over Omni's beats. Make it a waltz, says, Crow. Technically, part of it is a waltz, Crow. I'm not going to make the entire thing a waltz, but are you saying when I get back to the hook to try out a waltz rhythm, that's something that I'm open to? This song reminds me of K-dramas. Something different at that part. I want to do something different at that part. Thank you, though, Crow. That's nice. That's nice. I'm gonna move my monitor really quickly because the sun's shining right on it, and it is. When my laptop fan turns on, I get worried. Okay. I really like that riff, says Dar. What riff exactly? I start on that chord. Ooh, this song's gonna go somewhere really cool. I have a lot of faith in this song. It's a human art, says Dar. Indeed. Oh, the ARP bit. The ARP bit. Dar likes the ARP. DARPA Chief. Metal Gear Solid. I think that means it's too hot when the fan turns on. That's exactly what that means, right? That's why I move my laptop. When the sun's shining directly on it, the laptop fan turns on. And it's not really any, it's no cause for alarm, but I get worried about it. My plant makes me nervous. It's making me nervous. I feel like anytime I look at it, I can't tell, like, man, I'm gonna work on this song. Welcome back, Noon Bay. It's the reason that this part of the song is hard is because I'm actually playing two different chords with my left hand and my right hand. And my right hand, when I'm looking at it, my right hand wants to just play the same thing that my left hand is playing. Because when I get to same chord, and then different chord, different chord, different chord, same chord, different chord, same chord, and then this one, that one's actually kind of hard for me. See that? Different chords. Oh my god. Ow, my wrist. That's the problem. Oh. Close, close. Having to not look at the piano to keep yourself from making a mistake is funny. Then this next chord is like here in the left hand, but here in the right hand, which is actually kind of hard to play. No. I do need to hit that chord. Oh, oh. Sorry, guys. Sorry, everyone. My wrist isn't better? No, I was working on my car all day yesterday. I was working on my car all day yesterday. There's like getting those little hosies off. Hosies. Getting the hose clamps off. I literally just had to break it. Like I had to get. Oh my god. Ow. Owie. I had like pliers, and I was just like clamping the pliers on, and then just like going like this, and then like twisting it until it finally just snapped. Um. Anyways. What's that guy? The mech. The mecha guy in Speed Dream. Doc O? Strong ship energy with Mama. Oh. Ow. Oh no. Am I gonna have to see someone? Everybody, mark your calendars. If my wrist still hurts on morning medley number 265, I might need to see someone. I might need to take action. Okay, this song is developing. That's what I want to hit. I do want to go out on like a somewhat pretty but still very like magical sad, like Harry Potter just got dumped by Cho Chang. Um, if not better over the weekend, I'm calling 911 sister. Yeah. Uh oh. Oh, never mind. They both make that sound. Okay, I'm gonna play Love Letters now. I'm gonna play the 5/4 version of it. Something about playing 5/4 Love Letters. Looking at my hands move makes me think I'm one of those little robots and how it's made. You know, they're like putting together popsicle sticks and all the like robot hands are moving in a like a weird rhythm and they never run into each other. That's what my hands feel like when I play this song. Only in this rhythm though. You know, Over and Under isn't actually fully developed as a song. I mean, I played a lot. Um, I played a lot, but I don't. It doesn't have like a concrete arrangement. For example, over and under starts the same way every time with the with that part, and that's always followed by this part, and then that's followed by this part, the like bridge, the and then that part climbs up to this part. But then once I finish that second part, I'll either start transitioning it out if it's part of a medley, or I'll play a series of descending chords from instead of going from here to here, I'll go something like that. But it doesn't actually have like a concrete end. It ends kind of different every time I play it. Um, what I would like to be able to do for over and under, because the entirety of over and under is in 3/4. Even the parts where it gets quiet, even the parts where there's more sustained chords, like I'm still in my head going. See, it's still in 3/4. It's just that I have more sustained chords. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. What was that? Whoa, that was the wrong note. But that. Hold on. Oh my god. Ooh. That's so much cooler. More motion, more motion. Yeah, that's when I'm building into the second one. When it's like, but then after I finish that, I go. Maybe harmonies on it. Hmm. Hmm. I'm definitely moving forward in a direction. Did you miss anything at Cyber? Not really. Not really. I'm adding more to over and under, which actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, you might be interested in. But nothing wild. Nothing wild's happening. Ew, 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 ew. And then of course this one. No. Mm, eh, what does the modern harp have to say about it? Stop it, Oni. Stop it. Stay on course. I want it to be graceful. I want it to be lively. I want it to be. So I can circle right back around to That's wrong, by the way, on me. That's wrong. It's wrong. kind of wish that didn't stay in 3/4 the entire song, which I can still change. I can still change it. There's still plenty of room. There's plenty of time. I did see it. I did see the baby emoji, and I'm glad that somebody posted it again in the Discord. It might have been you that posted it slightly bigger because I couldn't read it. I was in an altered state and it was too small for me to read. Yeah, that was it. Do you not like the way Over and Under is usually played? Over and Under isn't a finished song, which is what I was saying earlier in the stream. It's not a finished song. This is 259. It's extremely quiet. So for Over and Under, it always starts the same, right? Sorry, it always starts the same. And then it gets into this part. You guys know how that part goes. And then once that part ends, it goes into this bridge. And then that leads into the chorus again, except higher this time, and it like climbs down. Like it climbs down. We got to that part, and then once that part is over, typically if it's part of a morning medley, I will transition out of the song at that point. I will find another song that I can play from that chord, which could be double S. Or a plethora of other songs, right? It could be Key Lime. Oh wait, no, it can't. No, it can't. It just can't be, actually. Oh, it technically could, but who wants that? I might actually want that. Yeah, whatever. I'm getting sidetracked. Point is, it doesn't really have a consistent ending. The ending is always left up to improv. Unlike songs such as Love Letters or Winter Heart that have very standard, recorded, rehearsed endings. And so I wanted to give that one more of an ending. I also feel like Over and Under is pretty rote. Rote in the way of like kind of, I don't want to say derivative, but kind of repetitive. It does the thing. It stays 3/4 the entire time. I don't really switch up the rhythm. I don't really switch up the articulations. I'm playing with... Oh my god. Oh my god, I love this. Somebody remember what I was talking about, because I need a second. Sorry, anyways, I was saying that it doesn't have a concrete ending. It doesn't have a concrete ending. So what I was trying to do was add a rehearsed, arranged ending to the song. And something that was a little bit of a departure, right? Because this... like, is a thing. And then going... isn't really that big of a change. The chords are still staying the same, right? Just these two chords. There isn't really a lot changing. Even when I get to the bridge, Same chords, really. And so what I wanted to do was add a part that has a little bit more, feels like a departure. Home, in a song. I should stop using the analogy of home all the time, but home in a song. Like I said, you can stay home, the home being the melody, and then you can play a bunch of different chords over it to give it a different feel, give it a different sound. But something really cool about home in songs is if you go outside of it, you go a little bit far away, the longer you spend away from it, and maybe the more you can kind of bend the harmony or bend the notes to sound like something new, maybe a completely different song. It makes it so that when you return home, it feels like, oh, wow, that's right, we're here. We're playing this song. And it makes the two things even more important. It makes the departure stand out more because it was such a it was such a departure from a familiar idea, and it makes the return to the familiar idea cool and have more impact than it did the first time, because now it feels almost like you've earned it, like you've gone really far away and now you've gone back to where you started. I try to do that in a few songs. I do it in double Lutz for sure, because double Lutz has these sections, which are kind of a far cry from kind of. And so once we finally get back there and then even change the key up a little bit more, I still feel like double Lutz is one of my richer songs, one of my more rich songs that has like a lot of stability. It has like a clear and defined home. It has a clear and defined departure from that home, and it has a very, very smooth settle back into it being home, which is very difficult to do. You know, even if you do it once, it doesn't mean that you can necessarily do it a lot, consistently. And so, some more jarring takes on that in songs of mine. I still think that Winter Heart is a jarring return to home. It was what I wanted at the time, but there are times now when I play it, like Winter Heart, you know. I'm basically here, right? And I need to get back here. And I can't just go. That would sound insane. So I don't do that. Instead, I literally like brute force my way back home, because I know I'm playing this. I can go just like, and I need to get to this chord. I need to get back here, and I'm here. So I just kind of climb and just go. Down there. There's a lot cleaner ways to do that, which is true in double Lutz. In double Lutz, my way home is a way more clean. In double Lutz, makes perfect sense because I'm using the melody to climb up there. And I use a few techniques. The first technique is by repetition under different chords. Remember when I was talking about a flight plan? You know, repetition under different chords. Repetition over different chords can give the repetition mobility. It can make it travel with the chords. And if I'm just playing this, I'm allowed to climb. And now I'm back in the hook. Way prettier, way more fluid. Way more fluid than something like Winter Heart. And so the thing with over and under is in these chords. It's kind of locked in these chords. And so what I tried to do is pull it into a slightly different place, which is kind of borrowing chords from this song. I went but it doesn't feel like enough of a departure. I would personally like the departure to go completely into a different key. And it's so late in the song that it might be a little dangerous. It could be like, I could do the same thing I do with double Lutz, where I take it up higher. Like it doesn't happen in this key anymore, maybe? Maybe it happens in this key. Oh, that was, oh my god. Sorry, I usually cannot do that. I usually have to do it a lot slower, just playing a song in a different key. I'm very impressed with myself. I'm giving myself a mental pat on the back. Anyways, I can go from here, maybe to here. Why is it just like that already? Hold on, guys. Hold on. Those are the wrong chords, but interesting. That kind of sounds like Midnight Drift 2. Midnight Drift 2. I can't hear it in my head anymore. I can hear it. I hear what you're hearing. Ooh. Strings really quick. Sorry, guys. There it is. Sometimes changing a sound, it's so stupid. If I hear an orchestra in my head, I sometimes will actually struggle finding the chords or melodies unless I'm hearing the orchestra played back at me. That's why I was struggling with the piano sound. Okay. Hit the right notes. Cyber, I found it. I found it. Wow. Hmm. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, are the audio pops back? I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. I don't know how to stop them. Stream is popping. What time is it? I might take off my glasses and try to read the time. 10:30-ish. 10-ish, 30-ish. Okay. Alright. Isn't it weird you can't, like, make your own internet connection? Like, you have to pay someone to get online? That is weird. But what don't we have to pay for, right? Don't we? I feel like we have to pay for everything. Okay, once through, new version of Over and Under. Let's go. Got it. Feeling good about it. My internet did die, so the monitor is gone. So the last comment I can see is Lindsay's about Diz. Maybe it was the last comment, and that's fine. Unless YouTube's down. Oh, never mind. I see Lindsay's comment. Wah, 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 wah. By the way, Cyber and everybody, that's very close to the ET thing. Who knew I could add it to a new, an old song? An old song can learn new tricks. That's the ET thing. The like having a chord and key change baked into the melody. Da 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 very, very in the same vein as whatever the ET theme is that I've now forgotten. Da 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 boom bum ba bum bum bum. Oh, ET. Was there even other music in that movie? Da 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 da. Oh, mine isn't as good as that one, but I'm trying. I'm putting in an effort, guys. I'm putting in an effort. Sorry, my shirt isn't great today. I did sleep in this shirt. I did sleep in it. My wings hurt. Do you think birds' wings ever hurt? My wings do. It's like right in there. I'm gonna play one more time just because I like it. I'm gonna play it one more time correctly because I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. This song. It's good to me, and it's good for me. I've decided. Oh, tummy, 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 growl. Uh-oh. Monitor's back on. Hello, everybody. We're live. Well, I never stopped being live. It's roughly 10:30 now. It's Thursday. It is Thursday. I feel like no matter what people told me, if somebody came up to me and said it's blank day, like my reaction is always just like, you're right. I'm never excited about like the day anymore. Getting some mad glare on the monitor. Some quick shouldn't I have done something? Oh, it did. Okay, so some quick news. Tomorrow is another production stream. Why am I staring into my speakers? What? Oh, I wasn't. I was looking into the monitor. Oh, I get it. I get the joke. That's actually pretty good. That's pretty good. You did get me. You got me. Blee ba 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 da ba go. Blee ba ba dee. Blee ba da ba 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 cow. This week has been a week of development, by the way, everybody. Usually the week is all about medleys and conversation, but this week I've really been working pretty hard to develop songs. Monday through Thursday, Monday through today, it's been this song. It's been that song. It's been this song. And it's been today over and under. The new part being. It's been a week of development. Not a lot of medleys have been going on. Not a lot of medleys have been going on, but I have been growing little baby songs. I would say that I'm trying to grow them a lot in the same vein. If you think about the additions that have been added to these songs, um, for example, in this song, it gets to a point where it goes. Now we're having like a series of key changes, you know? Series of key changes are added to that. You think about over and under, the key change is baked into the melody, you know? Key change is baked into the melody, and also in this song, I go here. Key change is baked into the melody. That's what has been going on as far as development. I've been developing these songs kind of all in the same vein, thinking, okay, I already have a melody here, I already have chord progressions. How can I just tweak them slightly? How can I take a chord progression that's kind of stuck in this? It's a loop, right? And so what I did was, I got to this chord and then I just changed it slightly from this to this, and then it changes the entire pathway, right? It's like you can drive straight down a road, but if you just turn your steering wheel from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock, at first your deviation will seem very, very minor. But drive like that for, I don't know, 5 miles, and then, oh, where are we now? Where are we now? LA highways tend to do this a lot. LA highways are not straight like they are in Arizona. And in Arizona, if there's a lot of traffic or there's an accident or a closure, you can get off the highway, drive in a street that's parallel to the highway, and get right back on it, and then you're clean. In LA, the highways turn so much that if you get off and try to take a service street, you might lose the highway completely. And that is what I'm trying to do with these songs, you know. I can play this progression. But if I get to this chord and I change it slightly to this chord, now I'm getting to different places, right? We're on a different path now. We're on a different path. We're making pizza with different ingredients. Mistake. You can change the destination. You can change the destination if you shift what key you're in. And over and under. Right now, these are nice and very pretty chords and melodies that wouldn't have been able to happen in the original key. Oh, actually, they can. No, it can't. No, it can't. I take that back immediately. So you have to change the key that you're in to make those things fit. And then the other song that I was playing that was an example of that was the unnamed, so this one. But I don't have a name for that song, so I'm not going to dig into it right now. Diz says, name the Arpy song Ballad of the White Bear. Too long. Maybe Ballad of the White Rabbit. Although I do love Where Your Head's At. The Arpy one, I assume you're talking about. Yep, that one says this. White bear, white rabbit. Now they give a variety of samples in the Discord. Are there specific types you want? Are there specific types you want? Like any gaps you want to fill? Oh, what is life but a series of gaps waiting to be filled? Hmm. Hmm. No, I think I just like people talking. I just like people talking. I think when I opened myself up for samples, I wasn't as hyper specific as maybe I needed to be. What I like is people's voices. People's voices is the best instrument of all. It's the best instrument. It's my number one instrument. No, I'm joking, but for real, I think that people talking get specific tonal qualities that instruments can't. So if somebody's like, "Hey, Omni, I got this like saxophone riff for you," it's like that's really cool. But it's like a saxophone riff is a saxophone riff. Saxophone's a saxophone. But a person's voice, like if everybody sends me themselves playing drums, I will run into a lot of stuff that I don't need. That's repeat of other stuff. But if everybody sends me, even if it's themselves just saying the same exact word, I'm going to get different stuff there. Different stuff, because no one's voice in this stream or in this chat sounds the same. Ugh, I love playing stuff like that. If I didn't have to play songs, I could just play a series of like. And I could lead the piano. I would love to do like bumps, like weird, like if it was like a kids show. I would love to do like intros to it and outros, like stingers. That's what they're called. Not full songs though. Not full songs. I'm getting some wild glare. Hey, what's up, Liam? Liam, Liam. I've never known a Liam. I've also started doing a different version of Flight Plan. I'm sure some of you have noticed where instead of doing the typical, I've started going. I love that. I love starting that. Then like ending on that note that's supposed to be a middle note. Started changing around Flight Plan to get some different sounds out of it. Oreo double stuffed powdered puff makes you buff, says Cyber. I haven't had an Oreo in a really long time. Every time I go into like a grocery store and I happen to find myself on the snack aisle, which if I'm honest isn't often. You know how like when we all go to the store, we all go to the store, but there's a few aisles you just never really like. They're just not part of your brain. So little are they part of your brain that if the store just straight up removed them altogether, you wouldn't notice. Like if if my local grocery store, Ralph's, stopped selling cigarettes, I just wouldn't notice because it's not a thing that's really on my radar. I never think about cigarettes. I never even think about the price of cigarettes. I used to work at Walgreens, and when I was selling cigarettes, I remember a man coming in and complaining that they had gotten too expensive because they were nearing $6, I think, around there. He was like, "That's dang near $6 for a pack. This is highway robbery." And I saw cigarettes recently, like a couple of months ago, and I looked at the price and I was like, "God dang, they are pricey now." But I wouldn't notice, right? Because they're not really on my radar. Things like the diaper aisle. I just don't, the entire baby, like, family care aisle, I just don't go to because I don't have babies. Um, and the snack aisle, the one that has all of the cookies and the crackers and the chips and stuff like that, I just never really go down that aisle. And so when I finally do, there's always something new. There's always like a watermelon Oreo, and I'm just like, dang, is that really? Do people want that? And not in a mean way. I mean, people are allowed to want and like what they want and like, but I'm always blown away by the snacks in there. The snacks in there. Oreos, but I had a friend who was obsessed with Oreos. Oreos were like his thing, I guess, and he was always like, every time he came over, he was like, "Yo, you want to try this Cinnabon Oreo? Yo, you want to try this S'mores Oreo? Yo, you want to try this Oreo that's got Sour Patch Kid filling?" Like, he was always like on the next Oreo flavor. I was like, that's pretty cool. But yeah, not necessarily me. The last time I bought something from the snack aisle, well, the candy aisle, I got those gummy clusters, and it was a nightmare. But the last time I bought something from a snack aisle was, I believe it was Wheat Thins. I believe it was a box of Wheat Thins. And as I bought the box, I thought to myself, why is the Wheat Thins box so small? It's so much smaller than other boxes. But then I didn't finish them. I never was able to finish the Wheat Thins. Crackers, all of like the snack foods, they're rough for me. It's hard for me to eat snacks anymore. Unless it's in the form of like whatever. Anyways, this was an anecdote that went absolutely nowhere, but I was brought there by Cyber's Oreo comment. Do I feel particularly echoey today? Oh, definitely not putting those things on my walls. That's that is a I don't want to be veto man, but that is a firm veto. That is a firm veto on putting like a styrofoam filling on my walls. Never gonna happen. It's 100% never ever going to ever happen. They're not touching my walls ever. Sorry, I'm so sorry. If it sounds bad though, maybe that is a thing, right? Maybe that is a thing that gets remedied with um, um, just having the direct audio in. But that's just ooh. That's never it's just never ever going to happen. Especially in a place like this. The walls aren't insulated well anyway. Something that I had a really long talk with a good friend of mine named Brian Rivers. I love him and I miss him. He moved away. He used to live with another friend of mine who I'm not going to say their name. And he would constantly complain about putting up like he would put up all of his foam acoustics treating. He was like, I need to treat my room. I have to treat my room. And it was really funny because we were hanging out with somebody else at the time who actually did this music for if you guys have seen John Wick, do you guys remember Castlevania? Do you remember that artist? It doesn't really matter. I don't even know if we're friends anymore, but he did a lot of music in John Wick. The first one and the second one. I don't know about the third one though. And he was talking to me about like the foam, putting up the foam, and he was like, the foam treating. He was like, that stuff is really really cool, and it makes the studio look cool, and I think it makes people feel better. But he's like, it's kind of like a placebo if you live in a place that's poorly insulated anyway. He was like, proper studios are built. The walls are better. He was like, if you put up like some foam blocks in a place where your walls are just like, I don't know, a quarter inch of drywall and then some stucco and he's like, it's not really gonna do that much. He was like, it might make people. I think it makes people feel better, but it doesn't actually improve the acoustics of your room. Now, my closet, being a much more enclosed space, I could put them up in my closet and then do this stream in my closet, and there would be less echo. But there's not enough space in there, right? Anyways, definitely not putting those up. But that is a good suggestion. That is a good suggestion. As a cashier, how would the price of cigarettes be something you could do anything about? Says Diz. Diz. Of course. I mean, you've worked customer service. I hope at some point. People don't think like that. People are like, something changed on the menu, and I'm gonna give you an earful about it. I'm pretty sure you control the menu at this restaurant, right? And prices. And I'm pretty sure you cooked my food also, right? And it's like, no, I haven't left this spot. I had nothing to do with that. Um, a lot of those one-off snacks are companies that peaked a long time ago, and they just try anything and everything to make money, like they did once before. Yes, money makes the world go round. I had an idea that I think would be fun, says Lindsay. What is this idea? Also, your landlord might not be cool with you sticking all that on the wall. Oh, my landlord doesn't come here. I haven't seen my landlord's face in. Since before Morning Medley episode 1, I'll put it that way. I used to work at UPS, says Diz. Yeah, screw people, right? Yeah, don't recommend setting up acoustic proofing in a home studio. It's generally a waste of time. It is a waste of time. It is a waste of time, but I try not to get on anybody's case that does set it up, because it's like, yo, if it makes you feel better and you can, you swear by being able to hear a difference, then I'm not going to fight anybody on that. Because that becomes a little personal, right? It's like, whatever you want to do to your studio, do the thing. For example, I feel like, this is really weird, but I feel like I play piano better when I have... See how I can, see things. I can see the sky. I can see the trees. I can see the palm trees. I can see... I guess palm tree is a tree. I can see the street. I can, see stuff. I feel like I'm not caged up. There were these rooms at Chandler Gilbert Community College, and most colleges have them. It's like music rooms, where it's these soundproof rooms where it's a bunch of pianos. Each room has their own piano. You can go in and practice, as long as you have the key or the code, which usually if you're taking a music course, they'll give you the code. I was not, but somebody did give me the code, so I was able to go in there and mess around with pianos. But you're in this, no windows, tiny room that's fluorescently lit, and I hated it. I couldn't be in there. I would much rather play on a piano that's in the middle of a park than play on a piano that's in a studio. And then a lot of times, being a session musician and having to play piano in the studio, I would find that I would mess up more often, I would get fatigued a lot faster, and I would generally not want to play. Having sunlight, being able to see things moving around me makes piano, or just any music performance, easier, more fluid. It makes it feel more natural. And somebody might say, Omni, you shouldn't have your keyboard next to a window because the sun's going to shine on it. It's going to mess things up. You should. And I do what I can. I cover it with a towel when I'm done playing it. But it's just not worth moving away from the window for me. I would much rather this keyboard gradually break faster over time and me have to replace it than playing this keyboard in the shade somewhere. I need a window or something. Got to see something moving. Got to see birds or something. Anyways, bum bum bum. You said you like people's voice samples and mentioned how everyone could say the same word and it would sound different. So I think it would be neat if everyone who wants to participate said the same phrase or word, just repeating the same thing. Yeah, I actually did think about that. I did think about doing that because Cyber asked me when setting up the sample server. Cyber was like, "Is there any specific things or rules?" And I was like, in my naivete, nope. And then people were just sending me I don't know, a Timbaland track or something like that, and I was like, oh, this is just a song. Don't do this. Maybe record it yourself. And then I feel like because Cyber sent in a voice thing so early, and it was exactly what I wanted, I thought, oh, then clearly there was no loss in communication. Everybody understood what I wanted, which was really just voice samples. But I didn't specify, so it's like, yeah, I wanted voice samples, and I thought it would be fun if I could get everybody to say the same thing and then like splice them together in weird ways. Um, but I wanted to do that for a different song. I mean, and I don't know what that phrase would be. I don't know what that phrase would be. Cyber's good at coming up with words. Lenny says, I'm used to repeating myself by now. I don't mind, but I do apologize to the chat for having to read it again. Oh, I'm sorry if that was like already posted and I didn't see it. Stacked vocals from multiple people would be cool, but that would be a pain to mix together. I wouldn't be mixing it, Umbe. I would be treating it like a train where you're swapping out parts. I wouldn't be layering them at all. Maybe if it worked for like 2 or 3 voices, but I would not, I wouldn't be actually trying to mix the entire crowd vocals. I would be just doing like, what's the word? Plunderphonic stuff, chopping and screwing, mixing and chewing, reverse and reverbing, compressing, digressing. Are you doing a new track tomorrow or working on established music? Both, Cyber. I'm starting the stream with, hopefully, if I can work fast enough, I'm starting the stream with 2 new tracks, and then I'm going to revisit some old stuff, and then start adding sprinkles to the older songs. Oh, Halloween's over, huh? Anyways, I gotta start. What is it? What's Thanksgiving music sound like? What did the Pilgrims listen to? Yo, what those fools listen to? Probably hymns and stuff, huh? Probably like, church stuff. Kirk Douglas and stuff like that. I'll create a phrase that I know full of words that are pronounced differently based on region. Oh, that could be fun. Why is footwork so cool, says Invi. Did I tell you about the time I was in a footwork circle in Japan? Did I tell you that story? It was bad. Footwork is an actual dance that a lot of people are good at. The only friends I have that are good at footwork live in Detroit. Okay, and then one lives in Japan, technically. But he's from Detroit, so I'm going to count him as a Detroit resident. And technically, when people are playing footwork, you can just jump in the middle of the circle and go like, you just like start kicking like randomly. And everybody like gasses you up like you know what you're doing. It's like, it may be one of the most fun dances. As far as socially, it's very fun socially because there really are no rules, and as long as you're doing what you do with confidence, everybody's like, yeah, he's getting it, he's getting it, he's getting it. I can't think of too many other genres of music that I really like that. Jersey gets close. You can kind of just while out to Jersey and people will be like, yeah, but I feel like you have to kind of integrate certain Jersey moves. Like you kind of have to do a running man maybe a couple of times. You got to do the sexy walk maybe a couple of times so people are like, yeah, he knows what Jersey is. And then you can like start like tutting and stuff like that and people will just accept it. Footwork though, like as long as your feet are moving, it kind of doesn't matter. People are going to gas you up. Anyways, I'm pissed that it's November, says Lindsay. Thanksgiving woodwinds. Like some Civil War type beats. Word up, Umbe. You're probably right. They did have those back then. I can't dance fast enough for footwork. That's the thing, Umbe. You're thinking with your brain. You need to think with your feet. You can dance fast enough. You can dance fast enough for footwork. It's one of those dances that looks way faster when you're looking at someone else do it than when you're actually doing it. Anybody that has lived in an apartment as old as mine and has gone to their kitchen at 3 a.m. to find a EDC level of roaches on their floor can do footwork. You just have to put yourself in the mode. You have to put yourself in the mind. You have to think with your feet instead of with your brain. Punk and some rock is kind of like that. Hot take, but I think it's pretty similar in terms to what it makes people do. That is a hot take, but not one that I'm going to oppose you on. I think you're right. I think you're right. I need to do some research on footwork in Jersey. Oh my god, Lindsay. Pilgrims probably listen to Corn and Turkey. Dang. That's actually a really funny joke because there is a band named Corn and there is a band named Turkey. I don't know if you were making that joke because of the way you spelled corn and turkey, but if you were making that joke, that's amazing. Um, Jersey is like barely music. Oh! I want to go ahead and take this moment in the stream to say that I have read a comment by Umbe out loud. It did come out of my voice, but if anybody would like to sound clip what I just said, it was not by me, and I don't endorse those words. Me music in the high. Oh my Jesus Christ! Woo! Yeah! I'm not gonna. I don't want anything to do with that. I don't want anything. I got way too many friends in Jersey. And here's what I will say. I will say that it is a music that is predicated on beats and energy as opposed to harmony and musicality, whatever that weird fake white word means. I would say that. I would say that there aren't too many Jersey songs that you can hum to. It's more so, again, predicated on energy. I would even say this about a lot of footwork music, if I'm being honest. Jersey and footwork, I put in like a very similar space in my brain where I'm like, this is mostly percussive and rhythmic music. It's not music that is supposed to sound like, no one sits down to make a footwork track and then makes it and goes like, this sounds too much like the other ones. I think they just put it out. They don't care. Same thing with Jersey. They just make and put it out. They don't care. It all kind of sounds very, very similar. I have had some disparaging words about Jersey in private that I will not share here. But I like some Jersey Club. For sure, for sure. I like Baltimore Club. Why the heck not? I think I like every, like, if you name a genre, I can usually find the merits in it and actually appreciate it. Is it bad that I do not know these things? It's not bad that you don't know those things, Lindsay. It's just funny because I very rarely come across anybody who doesn't know what Jersey Club is and doesn't like know Jersey pretty well. But you probably have heard it and just didn't know what to call it. Actually, it's pretty popular. Umbe calls it meme music or something because there definitely are some like there's like a popular like Callie on Fox video actually, really old one, but a pretty popular Callie on Fox video that uses Jersey Club in it. There is definitely great Jersey that isn't stripped down to its elements. I agree with what Cyber's saying. You can get some great Jersey music that takes the rhythms and makes it great. An interesting thing about Jersey, Shorty does have a badonkadonk. The interesting thing about Jersey is that it ended up, transcending New Jersey and started. It was being made in New York, but it was also being made like on the West Coast. It was even being made in Japan. If you listen to a lot of like 2016 tracks on Multi-Nay Records, they use a lot of Jersey rhythms. I would argue that these songs are not Jersey Club because they do a very different thing. But if you take Jersey Club and you boil it down to the 2 to 3 rhythms that are its founding structure, then anyone can make Jersey. But there's a lot of really cool, interesting things that can be done with it. Same thing about the samples. There's a lot of like man saying dick or bed squeak sample. There's like a lot of gun cocking, gunshot. There's a lot whiplash. There's a lot of samples that are very common in Jersey Club. So once you hear one Jersey Club song, you kind of will be able to cherry pick a lot of the elements from other Jersey songs. But there are a lot of people that were doing some really interesting stuff with Jersey Club. Whether or not that muddied the waters or made it impure or less genuine, I can't really speak on because I'm not from New Jersey and I am not a paragon or authority on Jersey Club. But there's definitely some really cool stuff there for me. Even for me, somebody that is like all about chords and melodies, there's some pretty cool stuff in Jersey. I love rhythms, I love rhythms, and Jersey has a few. I never said it was bad, says Umbe. I actually quite enjoy Jersey. It's the nature of it that means you can't really make it sound too different. There are a lot of genres arguably like this, Umbe. Like, I can make this argument about drum and bass, right? Drum and bass, since it's mostly predicated on one drum pattern, you know, a lot of it does kind of sound the same, and arguably, like the bare bones drum and bass all sound, you know, boom cut, boom cut, boom cut. It's just the same drum thing put under basically anything. You can put it under a race bass and make like more typical stuff. You can put like whatever the heck I was putting on it and make Daydream. You can do whatever, but I do think that, yeah, a lot of the clubbier side of Jersey Club, which is weird to say, right? Because club is baked into the genre name. A lot of the clubbier side of it is just percussion. But then there's a lot of people that have taken that and put it on other things. Kind of like how the dubstep halftime bridge was really big in electro house. Eventually, the Jersey bridge became pretty popular in future bass. I'm not going to get any deeper into that than I just did. But, yeah, good genre, good genre. Bum, 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 bum. The Now I'm Mad video? Yes, Lindsay, yes. So I probably have heard it, just didn't know what it's called. Exactly, Lindsay, exactly. Drum and bass is like that, drill music, footwork, even to a degree. Footwork to an extreme degree. Drill had to grow on me, if I'm honest. I didn't like drill. I like it a lot more now, but is that like juke in music? Ooh, don't get me started on juke. Juke is closer to footwork than Jersey is for sure. In my brain. This is my opinion. Granted, juke kind of feels like more like a concept than a genre. Word. Working in that key, whatever key that is very fun. Anyone and everyone, feel free to share links of examples of said genres. Because now I want to hear all this stuff. I'm trying to hear a 3/4 version of Quick Breath instead of a footwork version with more juke elements thrown in. Ugh, that would be weird. I mean, I can't unhear footwork Quick Breath. I can't unhear the bum 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 bum. Is footwork a jazz, like a jazz time signature, like a jazz rhythm? 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. Oh my god, that's what it was. Okay, so like a pretty long time ago on this stream, I was trying to figure out what the difference between 3/4 and whatever this thing was. Like I was trying to figure out what the difference was between, and listen closely, I was trying to figure out what the difference was between this and this. I would often play the boom ba ba boom ba ba, but I didn't realize how complicated it actually was. I just thought of it as like a weird swung 3/4, but it's not a swung 3/4. There's an entire beat missing from it. There's a bit. It's different. It's different. It's very different. You can swing to a footwork track, actually, now that I think about it. Hmm. I wouldn't call it jazz, but it's out there, says Cyber. Interesting. It's from Chicago, right, says Liana? Talking about footwork. Uh, it's weird. It's one of those things that's like from Chicago, but then Detroit sometimes says that they also made it. I'm going to just say Midwest. Let's say it's from big city Midwest. Hmm. You know, I've been wanting to make a jazzy song in that time signature for a really, really long time. And for whatever reason, my brain didn't put together that footwork is that time signature. And technically, I already have a song in that time signature, and it's Quick Breath. What does the bridge to Quick Breath sound like? Does anybody know this off the top of their head? Nobody knows this off the top of their head. Ding ding da 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 ding ding ba bing bing ba bing bing ba. What does the bridge sound like? Give me a moment. This is important to no one but me. Wow, this song sounds bad without the drums. Oh. I did make a jazz song in that rhythm. I'm just stupid. I'm just stupid. That was it. That was the only. Um. Yeah, that's really cool. Wow, I had no idea. Hey, what's up, Taylor? Don't you sing on the bridge? No, I sing on the pre-bridge. I sing on the the part before the bridge. But at a time we did to me. I guess I'm free. That's the bridge. Oh, who brought up Quick Breath? Who was it? You, Umbe? Quick Breath is a good song. I kind of avoid a lot of. There's a very specific bubble of songs that I never listen to, and it's because I just spent too much time listening to it. Honestly, guys, like once Dropout ever comes out, I'm never gonna listen to that song again. I have no interest in hearing that song. I've heard that song so much. It's even starting to lose some of its magic for me. And so, Quick Breath, you know, taking a break this big. Quick Breath came out in what, 2019? Taking this big of a break from it, listening to it again, it's actually, you know, it's a pretty good song. Thank you, Umbe, by the way, for liking that song. A lot of people that bring up Quick Breath very rarely bring up Quick Breath, if that makes sense. A lot of people that bring up that EP very rarely bring up the title track. They'll usually bring up the song with Mia or the song with Abby, something like that. Anyways, I study Quick Breath along with some other footwork tracks. That's funny. That's funny, Umbe, because I feel like if I let somebody that was like big in footwork listen to Quick Breath, they would be like, "This is trash." I just feel like they wouldn't like it. But maybe that's my self-esteem coming into play. Juke footwork are often said in the same breath. A quick one. Most times. They're almost interchangeable, says Cyber. Yeah, that's why I said that I like group them together a lot of the time. I also feel like every footwork track I make would be shunned by the community. So same. Word up, Boombe. You know, a lot of the more rhythmic genres, right? A lot of the more rhythmic genres, and I mean, I know that, like, take what I just said as a grain of salt because I know all genres have rhythm. But when I'm saying more rhythmic genres, typically what I'm talking about is stuff from the islands, stuff from a little bit closer to the equator, and like Bali funk, stuff like that. And then I'm thinking of like um, specific genres in electronic music in the States, which I feel like borrow heavily from the islands. There's stuff like that, you know, weird rhythms. And I feel like a lot of those quote unquote weird rhythms are in these songs as the main character, right? Like when you think of Jersey, you kind of think of like, and when you think about footwork, you're thinking of like, you're thinking of a rhythm more so than you're thinking of any like series of instruments or what. Like when you think of pop punk, typically you're thinking of guitars. You're thinking of you can even possibly think of lyrical content. You're thinking of like some angsty lyrics. But with Jersey, it's more so you're thinking of the rhythm. And so I like taking genres that are very, very rhythm defined, like drum and bass, like Jersey Club, like footwork, and doing interesting chords over them. Because an interesting thing about rhythm is that rhythm can exist under any chords. I've talked about this a lot of times. I've talked about this when just playing songs in different time signatures because a time signature is a rhythm. And so if I play Love Letters, I can play it like straight, or I can play it like this. It's a different rhythm. Or I can play it in the 3/4 way. Or I can play it in the 5/4 way. You have like different rhythms at your disposal that you can put any harmony over. And sometimes it'll change the spacing of the notes. Sometimes it'll change the way the notes actually interact with each other in a weird, cool way. And so a lot of times when I hear interesting rhythms, like a really interesting rhythm is that the rhythm from Blue Rondo a la Turk. The which I know in my coming from my mouth, you don't know what I'm doing. But even this rhythm. It's weird. It's a weirder time signature. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's a weirder rhythm. If you take rhythms and you put weird melodies or chords over them, it can like recolor them. Because if I played that without the weird or time signature, it's just this. Very even, not so wonky. And I can do that with any of my songs, all of like, because if you really think about these chords, it's a more complex version of the simplified 4 chords that appear in Colosseum. Speed that up a little bit. Faster. Just a sped up and more descended version of Colosseum. So when I hear footwork, when I hear Jersey Club, when I hear ballet funk, when I hear any of these like really interesting genres that are focused on rhythm, all I can think of is like the cool chords and harmony that can go with it. that you can put over it. Because I'm not a rhythmic person by performance. I'm not a drummer, and I'm not somebody that really focuses on and hears rhythms. There was a really good bass player who, I don't remember his name, so I'm sorry. Bass player, he's great. And in one of his like TED Talks or speeches or whatever, he said, anyone can learn harmony. He said, you can teach anyone harmony. You can teach any idiot harmony. But rhythm is in you. Now, I don't know, maybe that's a divisive thing to say. Maybe that's not true or whatever. But there is this thing about, like, the pocket swinging, when drumming. I'm sure you've heard it before. If you've heard any, like, Dilla record, if you've heard some Nujabes records, but Dilla was really, in my opinion, better at doing that. If you've heard any Dilla record, if you've heard Questlove play drums, if you've heard most drummers in, like, R&B, there's kind of this, like, pocket that they're in where they're a little bit late or a little bit early. They're adding, it's more subtle than a swing. It's just like, but they are there. It's like, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. If you know rhythm pretty well, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't, I'm probably doing a poor job of explaining exactly what it is I mean. But there is an art to being offbeat. Being off of the line, being off of the meter, being offbeat obviously sounds like you're making a mistake. But there is an artful skill to being offbeat consistently and making that the new beat. It's like a swing. It's a very subtle swing. Not a full swing. It's very subtle. And this bass player was talking about how you can't just teach somebody that as easily as you can teach them harmony. As easily as you can teach somebody that if I'm playing this note sounds good, and this note sounds good, and this note sounds good, and this note sounds good with it, and you can make this chord with it. That's pretty easy to teach somebody because it's just pressing the buttons right before them. However, teaching somebody something as complicated as timing and rhythm is a little bit more complex and sometimes difficult to do. And so for me, as someone who doesn't play drums, who doesn't focus so hard on rhythm all the time, it's a little hard sometimes to grasp in my creation of projects, especially in my performance of projects, because anybody with a mouse can click the notes, but actually being able to play the notes is a different story. And so when I hear a lot of those like weirder rhythms, they're new to me because they're not something that I could come up with on myself. A lot of times when I hear people play piano, as long as they're not going like wild on like soloing and improving, if I hear somebody play piano or I see somebody play a certain chord in a specific inverted backwards or whatever way, I can kind of look at them and go like, I can do that. It's not so difficult. I have just as many fingers as they have. How hard could it be? But seeing somebody perform a complex rhythm sometimes it's completely new to me. I'm like, oh, I would never naturally do that. Anyways, Umbay says I'm going to be an idol one day. I'm not exactly sure what the stream is talking about anymore at this point. I've been complaining about rhythm for a long time now. Is doing the two-step SpongeBob or hopscotch all moves related to footwork? No. But you can do them to footwork. That's along the larger genre of shuffling. Word. Cyber. I 100% thought I was joking the SpongeBob part. In high school, I was obsessed with trying to learn popular dances, says Diz. I would say this is probably pretty common amongst anybody in high school. Anybody as a teenager now. People on TikTok learn dances. It's like learning fighting moves. Because the next time you get in a fight, you can like incorporate this one move. I'm trying to learn D&B step or whatever it's called. It says Daniel, sounds like you would have been hooked on TikTok. Yeah, that's exactly where my brain went, Liana. If you were able to control the piano with your mind, almost as if you have a bunch of hands to play on it, would you? Yes. If I was able to do anything with my brain, I probably would. There are a lot of things that my brain can't do. It's like saying if you could fly telekinetically, if you could fly, would you? It's like, yeah, for sure. Would I fly all the time? Would I still walk? Yeah, I would still walk, but there would definitely times where I could fly. There would definitely be times where I could fly. Something that's interesting, you kind of brought me to a really weird place, Rem. I think that all the time, whenever somebody thinks, when people think of like having a superpower or a super ability, they're like, would you ever do the other thing? And I honestly think, yeah, I think we still would. It's like, I'm sure people, anytime there's like a new invention or a new ability that humans have, they're like, oh, this is going to completely replace this old thing. And it almost never does. It almost never does. It almost never does. And so I think even if I could play piano with my mind, I would still play it with my hands every now and then. Maybe I would do them in tandem, right? Like I'll be playing with my hands and then I would use my mind to play some other cool melodies. But I don't think that it means now my hands just become atrophied and I never use them to play piano. Hmm. I'm pretty salty because me and my sisters would have killed on TikTok back in the day, says Lindsay. Hmm. I feel like I'm constantly letting things pass me by. I didn't join Vine because I just didn't want to. Also, I didn't have the video prowess that I do now. I felt like you had to be like funny and cool, and I was like, I'm neither of those things. Now I realize I probably could have posted musical content on it. But I didn't join Vine when that was big. I didn't join Musically when that tried to be a thing. I didn't join TikTok when that first started. When Byte came out, I mean, I made an account, but I didn't post anything really. What's Vine, says Ram? Just an old video thing. It's like proto TikTok. It's like it's the same thing as TikTok. It was just older, and the videos could only be so long. You couldn't post like really long videos. It was like I think 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds, something like that. As the videos, which sounds pretty limiting, Rim, but people were able to do a lot in 7 seconds, and it ended up being a really cool thing. 6 seconds. Sorry, Leanna. Um, there's YouTube videos with tutorials on how to SpongeBob. There definitely are. Dang. All the 6 seconds. All the 6 seconds. Sorry, everybody. 1 second makes a big difference, right? People really did get good at it, Lindsay. People got so good at it that it didn't feel like the videos were 6 seconds. Sometimes you were looking at a video and then you would reach the looping point and you're just like, that felt like it was way longer than 6 seconds. Setting up, I think it was, I mean, a lot of people were able to do a lot of cool things with Vine. I'm not going to make this a Vine stream. I don't want to talk about Vine anymore, but I will say that the one thing that I think that Vine did good, like super good for society, was the comedy industry. I think it challenged a lot of comedians to be able to introduce, set up, and deliver a punchline in like a record time. And the jokes started off pretty, whack, as whack as you would think a 6 second joke would be. But then, like, people were able to do some really wild stuff in 6 seconds. Real funny stuff. Anyways, I have a whole theory that Vine was the tipping point for the internet's shrinking attention span. Yeah. I mean, I agree. I don't think that that's a hot take at all, or even like a wild theory. I think that that's exactly like. I mean, it was happening slowly, but then 6 second videos. Vine's whole thing, like 6 seconds and scroll, 6 seconds scroll, 6 seconds scroll, did do, yeah, it did a lot. It did a lot. It did a lot. The one thing I did was exacerbate the culture of ADHD on the internet, but that's just me. Word. Uh, I think um the interesting thing though about Vine is I admittedly didn't spend as much time on Vine as a lot of people did. I didn't even have Vine on my phone until its last days, if that makes sense. I was only seeing Vine through like people sharing it. It's the same thing as TikTok. Like I'm not on TikTok right now, but I've seen a lot of TikToks because people put them on other things. That was me with Vine. I wasn't really a participating member. By the time I got Vine on my computer, on my laptop, on my phone, holy crap, Vine was already dying. So I wasn't really a part of it. So I don't think that it shrank my attention span, but I did see it have that effect on other people, and I think just in general, people in general are willing to do less work And that doesn't mean I'm calling people lazy. I'm just saying that doing less work has become a little bit more normalized. When I say doing less work, it means a lot of things, right? It means like looking up new artists. It means going out and networking. It means making friends in physical spaces instead of online spaces. It's like people are less inclined to do work for things because, and that's a thing that's been going on for a very long time. Before I was born, I mean, we all have parents that look to us and say, back in my day, I used to have to X, Y, and Z, and nowadays you just have to X, and the Y and Z come for free. That's just a thing that's constantly been happening. So I'm definitely not gonna like be a doomsday person that's just like the kids these days, the attention spans. I'm definitely not doing that. I'm just saying, I have only been alive to see the internet do most of that, right? I would say the big way that the internet has, maybe the biggest way has done that to me, because I don't know that my attention span has shrunk, but I do think that the internet has made me a little less. It's made me a little less receptive to people because there's like this big shift, right? Well, I'm not gonna project. I'll say my own experience with the internet. My experience with the internet was like I was on the internet, and there was a lot of wackadoodles on the internet. Wackadoodles being an affectionate term for people that were like on Gaia Online or something. There was a lot of wackadoodles on the internet, and then I had my real friends outside of the internet, and I wouldn't talk to them on the internet really. Like I wasn't like getting on the internet to talk to them. I would like text them or go hang out with them. And when I wasn't hanging out with them, I just wouldn't talk to them. I didn't need to talk to them all the time. I didn't need to see pictures of them all the time. So it was like strangers on the internet, real life friends that I cared about. And then gradually the two things merged. And instead of me, like I had a crossroads, right? Where I could either I could care more about the internet because now the people I cared about were on it, or I could care less about the internet because the like wackadoodles were mixing in with like my actual friend groups, and I feel like the latter is what happened to me. So now like when I see a lot of stuff on the internet, or I see like a lot of comments, or I see like a lot of people doing something, it doesn't feel real to me, even if I really know those people. For example, I really know Kiwi in real life. Kiwi is a person that I know and I've seen and I've hung out with several times. If Kiwi says something in a message, like on Instagram or Twitter, I feel way less inclined to interact with it than if Kiwi were to like call me or message me personally. Like the internet is fake, and when real people go into the internet, they like by degree to an extent become also fake, and I don't feel as much of a need to interact with them, and that's a problem that I have. But it's I think everybody has a problem with the internet. That's just my specific type of problem. I was already mentioning Kai when you said wackadoodles. That's funny. Um, yeah, oh my god. Cyber's quoting Jemmy? Cyber's quoting Jemmy in the stream. There's somebody I haven't talked to in a long time. Yeah, I feel like I became less, the internet didn't matter as much once everybody was on it. I was like, oh, this thing sucks. And so then the reason I started using Line to talk to people is because I didn't want to talk to people through messages. Well, sometimes like people will reply to an Instagram story in a message, and I definitely read it, but I don't feel the urgency to reply to it as much as I would if somebody messaged me on Line or through a text message. And I try to combat that as much as I can. I'll like reply to YouTube comments. I'll like reply to things, but it always feels like more of a chore than replying to a personal message outside of the internet, even though Line is technically the internet. Anyways, know your Jimmy quotes, says Liana. People in this stream don't even know who Jimmy is. Only a handful. Only a handful know who Jimmy is. You don't think quarantine has affected your problem you have with the internet? No, actually. My problem with the internet was pretty clear before quarantine, and in quarantine, it's just persisted. It's just persisted. I know that some people have gotten like, which I understand. A lot of people have gotten like stir crazy, where they're just like, I need to, please, I need to see somebody. I need to touch somebody. I need to hang out with people, and like, I feel them. That's what I thought that was gonna be like. I just am not. That has not happened to me. That has not happened to me. If anything, I've started to like slightly go the other direction, where like people are like asking me to hang out. And I'm just like, I just saw you like 2 months ago. Come on. And I'm just like, man, I don't feel real. I need to see people. This hurts. But I don't really, yeah, I don't need that necessarily. I have stopped posting as much online though. I mean, that's clear. That's clear. See, now it's flowing for me naturally. Now I'm not messing up every 2 notes. Taylor says, I just need to hike. That's the only thing I miss. Well, here in LA, you can still do that. You can still do that as long as the hiking trail isn't currently ablaze. You can still do that, and so I have been able to like get up and into the mountains and have a good time that way. Um, yeah, like I just like don't even, you know, it's pretty cool though. I mean, I know nobody wants to hear me say cool or great or fun or fascinating in reference to what's happening right now, but the human condition, at least my human condition, I'll say this human's condition is actually pretty cool. I'm able to see like, you know, when you're looking at another country, looking at another country and you're just like, oh, how can they live like that? You're like looking at a street, you're looking at like a busy street with no like lane dividers or something like that, and you're like, oh, how do you do it? Or you're looking at Japan and nobody's talking on the subway, and you're just like, how is it so quiet in here? How do you do it? I think that if anything, this year has taught me that like, oh, I could do it like pretty easily. Like a big societal shift, I can like manage. I mean, not talking about financially. Obviously, like finances are a different story, but like emotionally, mentally, I kind of just have become like I don't even want it that bad. Like the people that are like posting like fits of them in their like Native American headdress and their like bikini top and their Daisy Dukes at Coachella, and it's like, oh, take me back. Take me back to 2018. Take me back to 2019 Coachella, please. I'm done. Like those people, I feel for them and I feel them, but I just haven't like I've officially gotten on a part of the hill now where I'm just like I imagine like Anime Expo happening, and I'm just like, it's not that I don't want to be out, but I'm like, I don't really miss it that much. If it happens again, I'll go, but I'm not really crying about it being gone. And there are a lot of things I truly do miss. Like I miss traveling, and if I think about like foreign countries that I've been to for too long, I will get kind of like bummed. But it's more of like a weird nostalgic bump. I'm like, it'll be back, and when it's back, I'll go do the thing. But I'm not like fighting. Like some people that are like, open us up, open us up. The kids want to go to school. The people, you know, I feel them, and they're absolutely right. Open us up, open us up. But I'm not the one fist pumping. I'm not there really with them in that way. I'm just kind of like, whatever. When we open, we'll open. I'll be out there. I'll eat the chili. I'll go to the beach, I guess. I'll sit in the sand. I'll eat more chili. I'll fly to Japan. I'll eat Japanese chili. And I'll go down to Hong Kong and I'll stay a little bit longer this time. Maybe eat some chili. I think they might have some chili in Hong Kong. But I'm not, you know, I'm not dying anymore. I think I'm just numb. I think a lot of people are getting numb, which is pretty good, right? That's healthy. Human condition is good. Liana says social events are like a distant memory now. And I look at videos of people together, like humans are weird animals. Yeah, it's kind of weird looking at it. Isn't that cool? Isn't it cool how your brain can just shift into a completely different mode? Like now we're all in quarantine mode and we're looking at, like you're looking at a video and you look at like a party scene in a movie, or you're looking at like somebody get into a cab and they're not wearing a mask, or like you look at strangers kissing in like a TV show and you're just like, wow, we were really going ham on each other. We were just like, that was cool. Now it just looks weird because we've all adjusted. That's cool. I would really like some chili, Cyber. I would love some chili right now. My perception of social events is shifting entirely. I would say it's good to be numb. Yeah, yeah. I've always felt like social events were lame and awkward, says Umbe. Hanging out with large groups and close friends is dope. Large groups of close friends is dope. I have a weird, Umbe, I'm a little bit weird on that just because I'm a performing artist, so like big social events is kind of like my job, like it's like my livelihood. So I don't know that I necessarily have that too much of a disparaging view on them. But I would say Umbe in my own time, I probably spend a little bit more time, with smaller groups of friends. Like I'm not necessarily going to big events unless I'm working them, which is interesting. Even Anime Expo was like I was performing. That's one of the reasons I was like, oh, wow, I don't go to events unless I'm performing or working at them. I mean, whoa, yeah, I guess I go to like theme parks voluntarily. Umbe, like I've gone to Universal Studios, last year and Disneyland a couple of years ago. But yeah, as far as like big social events, I don't know that I go to those. I go to the movie theater. I don't know if that counts as an event. It's a gathering, that's for sure. Tenet has been out for a long time now, and I still have not seen it because no movie theater is open in Los Angeles. That's neither here nor there. I guess the point that I was trying to make with this whole like long thing is that it's interesting to see how my brain and how everybody's brain, your guys' brains, have treated the internet, where it's like the internet is this thing, real life is this thing. And then when real life receded and the internet kind of expanded in quarantine, it was interesting seeing people either become extra invested in the internet because now this was the only thing they had, or people like me become less invested in everything because now nothing mattered. I feel like that would, like, if there was a dichotomy, if there was a binary choice to make there, where you became super invested in the internet or not at all invested in anything because everything was the internet. I was the person that became not at all invested. I love, by the way, this perspective thing that happens where my hand looks like it's the size of like it's bigger than my head. I love this. It reminds me of Ace Attorney. Anyways, the internet became way less important to me, to all of us, well, not to all of us. Some of the people are extremely invested, and I am not making fun of them. I think whatever you got to do to get by. My life has become so routine. That's the natural way I play it now, which sucks because that's not the way that we decided on. Only time I go to big social events, says Umbi, is when I'm with my friends or it's something I really, really want to do. Like concerts suck, but I'd go to an Omni concert solo because Omni doesn't suck. Quick math. Oh, I appreciate that, Umbi. Yeah, I very rarely go to concerts actually, as just a person. Big concerts. I go to a lot of local gigs around LA. Like I go to like jazz gigs or I'll go to like school night or whatever. But very rarely like buy a ticket to go to a big concert. I went to go see like something like Perfume because I was a big Perfume fan, but that's pretty much it. Just gotta throw yourself a dance party to break up the monotony, says Liana. I couldn't see the elephant on your shirt until you waved your hands around. It's there, Uwe. I do think it's interesting that you say you're less invested in everything because the morning medleys have been consistently longer since quarantine started. I wouldn't say that's a sign of investment. That's more so you guys. That's 100% you guys. I don't know if you've noticed, but usually if the chat's dead, I'll end early. I've ended morning melodies at like 10:45. Like the chat wasn't doing anything, and there have been times where everybody in the stream was just saying a bunch of stuff, and so we've gone until noon. Um, but no, that's definitely not me being more invested. That's more so you guys being more active. And there's like this thing. It's kind of like when you're when you're talking on the phone to somebody and you feel like the conversation is gradually coming to like there's the awkward pauses are getting a little bit longer and you do that like, well, you do one of those. You do one of those. You do one of those. Oh, well. All right. Well, okay. You do one of those to kind of like bring it to its close. But if like people are talking about stuff, it feels rude to do one of those. That's the stream. That's the stream. That's the morning melody Monday through Thursday. It's like if no one's saying anything, I'll kind of like, all right, well, let's go over the news. But if people are going hamburger, it feels rude. So like, somebody asks a question, I'm like, time to go over the news. I'll answer your question next stream, and so it gets a little bit extended. But definitely wouldn't say that's a sign of investment. Definitely in the internet. I think a sign of me being more invested in the internet would be if I were like, posting on Twitter or posting videos on Instagram. Or sharing and posting about the stream at all. Like, come into the morning medley. Like if I was like posting like a tweet like, hey guys, I'm not dead and I have been like streaming like every day on YouTube. That would be like more of me invested in the internet and like caring what those people had to say, but I haven't. There's a lot of people that just don't know this is happening. Because of my lack of investment. I'll come back though. I have said it before. In 2021, I am gonna like start giving the internet a little bit more attention than I currently do. But it's 2020 still, so it's a no on that. Is mayonnaise an instrument? Says Diz. I feel like everything's an instrument. Oh, what did the teddy bear comment mean? Teddy bear comment meant consistency, Lindsay. Like a teddy bear, like you have a teddy bear and you just like keep it around even if like you've maybe outgrown the teddy bear, but it's like it feels like such a choice to throw away the teddy bear at this point. It feels like a choice. There's a pillow in the top of my closet that somebody made for me a long time ago. I never lay on it. I don't sleep on it. But there was some work that went into making this pillow, and it feels like an active choice to throw it away. It feels almost like an act of hatred or like an act of disdain to throw it out. So I just keep it around. Like it's not taking up that much space. It's fine. And it's cool. It's nice seeing it, I guess. That doesn't mean I wouldn't say that I'm like invested in the pillow though. That's what I would say the teddy bear comment meant. What would Omni Juice taste like? Have you ever had cow piss, Teddy? That's exactly what it would taste like. Smooth, milky, and somehow dairy-free. Wait, why are we talking about this? I don't know what prompted that question, Cyber. much a freaking Amelie. There's a song that has like that at the end. Not those chords, but it does have like a. There's a crepe shop, a creperie, in Pasadena that sells cool crepes. But anyways, they play I swear the same like 13 songs over and over. They play the Amelie soundtrack. They play 4 songs by Camille. They play 3 songs by Yo, and then they play I don't know exactly how many songs by Emily Loiseau. Emily Simon, actually. Sorry. I get those two confused a lot. They're both French. Both very good. Check them out. Either of them, if you want to hear good French folky tunes. If you ever get sick of doing these morning streams, this is junk. That's actually a really good question. It's a good question that I don't have a clear answer to. Because I like playing piano. So, since most of what this stream is, but not most by a lot, like 65% of what this stream is me playing piano, me practicing piano. I don't really ever get tired of piano. I'm junk. And so, no. There are like, there are definitely times where I don't want to stream, that's for sure. It's kind of like when you don't want to work out, but you do it anyway because it's, Tuesday, and that's your workout day. But, I don't know that I get, like, sick of the streams. That might be a hard word to use. I think I get fatigued sometimes, but I think we all do. You're sending me a line on message later? Thank you. That's nice. I hope it's pleasant. That's not right. I've ruined it. Who cares? That's fair. I sort of figured out that's how it be as junk. Yeah. It's just playing piano. Don't get too sick of it. I don't feel like I really have to do anything, right? It's not like work. Like, imagine if you showed up at work and you just kind of jammed and there wasn't really like a thing you had to do. And if somebody came up and said, hey, can I get a cheeseburger? And you just said no because you didn't feel like making it and you couldn't get fired. That's kind of what the stream's like. Somebody could come into the stream and say, I want to hear Shoto Clone. And I can technically just say no. And that doesn't mean that I'm fired from the stream. That doesn't mean the streams get canceled. It just means I'm kind of maybe rude that day. But no, it's not as fatiguing as maybe some more other things in my life. You know? Can't fire me, Leona. Can't fire me. What was I gonna say? Anyways, let's just go over news. We're getting too close to noon. I don't like it. I'm reinstilling order. I have some, releases. One of them is called Signals. It's jazzy music. There's another one called House of Omni. It's very collaborative. I basically just made a bunch of music with my roommates at the time. Tall Tales is a little bit more experimental and sad and wonky. And then I have my Dream series, starting with Nice Dream, which is kind of like cutesy pop music, followed by a Love Dream, which is more like cutesy boppy music, but at the time it was me trying to be a little bit more serious. That's followed by Speed Dream, which has a lot of the same sounds, but for at the time it was very fast music for me, and it's accompanied by some vocals and dialogue performed by me and some friends of mine. That's followed by an EP called Daydream, which is pretty long, 10 tracks. You know, it's not longer than Speed Dream, but to be called an EP, people expected it to be a little bit shorter. That has more like orchestral music, drum and bass, break beats, and stuff like that. And then almost going in the complete opposite direction, I released a thing after that called Lush Dream. Lush Dream is more like, I mean, people have called it lo-fi hip-hop. I don't want to call it that, so I'm just going to call it chill beats, background beats, BGB, chill BG beats. And there's 33 of them, so it's pretty long, but it's meant to be background noise, so don't worry about having to listen to all of the songs in order or at one time. Followed by that, I have my twin EPs, Quick Breath and Ego Death. We talked about Quick Breath a little bit in the stream today. It's a footwork track, but it's on an EP that is filled with a lot more, you know, house, R&B, and then of course the footwork track. It's even got a ballad on there, or the closest thing I've made to a ballad that has a beat to it. And then that is followed by Ego Death, which is very ambient. All of the vocals on Ego Death, save Young Skirts, are actually provided by me, so that's a fun rare thing that I would do. And it's the most recent collection of work that I put out. You can find all those on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon MP3, Tidal, Groove, Deezer, Pandora, Napster, and YouTube. While you're on YouTube, you can also find some exclusives to YouTube, like Quarantunes and other remix videos that I've made, shot, and edited, all in the comfort of my own home. Lindsay's accusing me of mental gymnastics. Maybe. I don't realize what for. But possibly. You got to keep your mind smart. You got to keep your mind sharp, and you got to keep your brain active. Taylor says it's comfort. What's comfort? Oh, this is leaving. This is leaving at the very end. Thank you, Dish, for staying for the entire stream. I actually appreciate it. Could I hear 3-4 Chaser again? I need the inspiration, says Umbe. I'm glad you asked before Hush Hour. But that wasn't 3-4. Elephants are good luck when their trunks are up. Uh-oh. Is it bad luck if their trunks are down? Should I take off this shirt? Should I not be wearing this? I hope the dude that made this shirt is happy wherever he is. Have a thinking Thursday, says Liana. Goodbye, Liana. I will be thinking. Weighed down by the day, constantly. I'll be thinking for sure. It's so funny. When I used to play this song, I used to think about Hong Kong all the time. And I still do. But now when I start playing it, at a certain point in the song, I always think of Crow. Because there was a particular time when Crow used to always be upset when I didn't play it right, as he said. So I always think about it when I play it now. Word. I haven't touched It's been 2 years and I'm still getting followers. How? Umbe, I don't know. Same thing is happening to me. I mean, I'm losing followers also, but I'm still getting a few. I would say that I lose about 10 and then I get one. And whenever I look at that one, I think they're a bot, and I go to their page, and they're not. And I think, what are you doing? Why are you following me? What brought you here? What happened? You see me on Spotify or something? And think, now there's a fellow whose socials I need to follow. I don't know. Feels weird. Chris said that yesterday. That's good. I'll go ahead and I'll keep that. I'll keep that in my heart for today. I'll pretend he said it for today. Guys, I am going to go get the rest of my Thursday on. I'm going to try to make another waffle. I'm going to try to make it good again this time. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did, but I'm making another one today, so let's see if I can do whatever I did. Let's see if I can do it twice. I want to thank everybody for being respectful to me and polite to each other. I hope that you do enjoy your Thursdays, guys. Tomorrow is the production stream, so I guess feel free to be late, since the stream will be twice the amount of time this one was, or probably more, since they've been running late usually. I just get in a groove, and then sometimes I don't want to end the stream and then lose my creative juice, so sometimes I'll keep it going. But that'll be tomorrow at 9 a.m. Wagon? Does that say wagon sloth? I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. There's the amount of shine that's coming off of this towel right now is also coming off of my computer screen, so I apologize if I didn't read that right. Wagon sloth? Thank you. Yes, you can sleep in, Taylor, but come in whenever you want. Alright. Thank you for being respectful and me and polite to each other. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Thursday. I'll see you back here tomorrow for Morning Medley number 260. Till then, Albo. Oh, I didn't make a smoothie today. There's no smoothie to grab.